Live from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway, it's time to go racing. di9Designs presents round 4 of the Turn Down for What series from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Hunter Peach on the inside in the number 26 Ream Camry to the inside of last week's winner and the week before's winner, Jordan Bain, leading the points with 132. He's got a 14-digit lead over Matthew Boone. Matt Boone going to be starting on the outside from the 8th position in the number 38 Twisted T Chevrolet. Third is going to be Joshua Arnold starting 14th on the outside in that number 22 Candy Stripe car, if you will, or whatever it looks like. But it looks cool from here, that PPG paint stripe. Waiting for the pace truck to peel off. The car is going to give us 120 laps of action from virtual Texas. Peach and Bain on the front row, and it's time to get started. Thanks for coming along. Sit back, relax, and enjoy di9Designs Xfinity from Texas. First lap complete at the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Hunter Peach in the number 26 car. He's ahead of Jordan Bain in the number 28 B Waterford. Brad Herman behind him in the number 85 TJ's Team Mustang. Zach Meredith sitting in the 4th position in the number 17 Napa Know-How Chevy. And in the spooky number 1 Monster Chevrolet, Chad Swatsworth rounds out the top 5. Kind of a big gap, and now they're starting to spread out, but you've got Nate Lehman and Enrique Quinones side by side. Lehman to the inside of the number 9 Box Cave Furniture Chevy, working on second place in points. Number 38 Matt Boone Josh Arnold in the number 22 PPG Paints Ford works his way up into the 12th position. Brad Rivers behind him in lucky number 13. Jeff Ledno in the Ford-powered number 37. Bobby Pierce in the number 88 Xbox car, rounding out the top 15. Falls Fan 88 hosting with one viewer, and then J-Pod cheering 22 minutes earlier. Alpha York hosting as well, and Reaping hosting the stream as well. Thank you all so very, very much. And if you just recently joined us, I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag action from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. It's round 4 of the di9Designs Xfinity Series. Brad Herman now into second place. Toyota, Ford, the running order. Jordan Bain sitting in third, and Herman now working on the leader. Bolt Zoo says, woo, go Sam. Cheering for Sam Wade in the number 27 Tennessee Volunteers Ford. Everybody's sailing high and wide up to that turn 4 wall, and it is dangerous, let me tell you. Cars still tight all over the place, trying to get the temperatures up, trying to get those cars to stick to the track. Robert Pierce in the number 88, Samuel Wade in that number 27, one of the cooler looking cars out here, definitely repping those Tennessee Volunteers in that number 27. But then you got to go back to Grandpa Coey, Jim Coey, repping his Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He sits to the inside of Jarrett Manning in the number 7 Chevrolet. Bolt Zoo with his first time chat as well. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Rick James TV. He caught the very end of that modified race, and what a finish that was. 8 laps into this contest, however, Hunter Peach has led every circuit thus far. Brad Herman sitting in second. Zach Meredith to his outside in the 17, trying to get second. Still working the outside now. Brad Herman to his inside. Cole Snyder looking from behind them in the number 24 Box Cave Furniture car. Shad Swatsworth down to 6th now. He's catching up to the back end of Jordan Bain, and it seems like last week's winner could be on a bit of a slide. Jordan Bain sitting in 5th right now, not where we're used to seeing him, but still plenty of race remains. A tenth of a second is all that remains between Jeff Lednam in the 37, Stan Carnathan in the 33s behind him, but he's got Enrique Quinones right there. Tree Wade in the chat says, go Sam. I'll let it slip that you're not repping Bearcats this week. But no, we've seen that excellent looking number 27 Tennessee Volunteers Ford, and of course Jim Coey's Notre Dame Chevrolet. Absolutely loving the college football fandom on these cars. They look bright, they look great. It's always fun seeing a new sort of paint scheme out on the racetrack. It's always fun seeing a lead change as well, and this time it's Zach Meredith in the number 17 car getting around Brad Herman, and the number 17 Napa Know-How Chevrolet is our new leader at Texas. Let's see how we got there. Meredith working on the outside of Hunter Peach. This was for the lead. Coming out of turn number 4. He's just going to make it stick and clear the 26 of Peach into the first corner and out of turn number 2. Zach Meredith holding on to that lead now ahead of Brad Herman. Hunter Peach in 3rd, and Jake Millsap falling down the order here. Matt Boone in the 38 to the inside of car number 19, and the Napa Know-How Chevy falling behind. He's got Nate Lehman behind him in the Dr. Destruction number 14 car. Jose Ruiz in the number 23 Gossamer Looney Tunes Chevrolet to the outside of Josh Arnold in car 22. Brad Rivers coming up the field. He sits in 12th right now in front of Enrique Quiñones, lucky number 13. Bolt Zoo says, hey, Sam's mom, it's Braden. He wanted to rep the mustard throwers. Not sure what that's all about. Fill me in. Is there something with the Tennessee Volunteers and throwing mustard? Because that'd be funny. Zach Meredith now loses that lead to Brad Herman. Randy Bousquet recently falling off the racetrack here in the 29. Let's see what happened to good old Randy. Oof. Slams the wall at a turn number 4 in a hard way. And then comes back up the racetrack. Randy finds himself in the 24th position, but it's Brad Herman leading this race into the number 85, TJ's Team Ford. Let's ride along on the back fender of Herman and see him defend this lead at Texas. Herman leading in the 85. Hunter Peach in second in car 26. Jordan Bain sitting in third. Single file top 6. Then you've got Nate Lehman, who sits just in front of Josh Arnold, who's gotten around the box cave Chevy of Cole Snyder. The blinking you see is from Matt Boone in the number 38 Twisted T Chevrolet. That car looking to resurrect himself through these points. He's starting to lose a little bit of the gap to Jordan Bain. 14 points is the gap headed into this race, but Jordan Bain running in third right now. He's got his groove back, and he's chasing down Hunter Peach for the second position. Brad Rivers in the 69 car to the inside of Jordan Millsap out of turn number 4. B-Dogs Gaming just recently following. Welcome, B-Dogs Gaming, to Rick James TV. Welcome to the 4th round of Turn Down for What, brought to you by di9Designs. Zach Meredith on the outside of Shad Swatsworth in that number 1. This is for the 4th position. The 17 car of Zach Meredith just on the fringes of the top 5 as Cole Snyder is on the fringes of the top 10. He's to the inside of Nate Lehman. Sam Wade goes off the racetrack in the 27 car, mowing that Texas lawn down the front straight. And the Tennessee Volunteers not feeling very good about this run right now. But it looks like he makes it through, and he makes a great save as well. Let's see. And Bobby Pierce left the racetrack as well. He's in pit road, but let's see what happened to Sam Wade in the 28. And he's already got damage on the right fender. You see it, and he slams the wall again to the inside of Mike Kinsley in that number 12. Altel Ford. We got to check that scheme out later because that's cool. But that's how the cookie crumbles for Rocky Top 27. Sam Wade sitting in 22nd right now. Brad Herman leading by 0.3 of a second over Hunter Peach into the 26. Then you go back to third. It's Jordan Bain in the number 28, B. Waterford. Zach Meredith in 4th. Matt Boone chasing down Shad Swatsworth for the 5th position. Josh Arnold a second behind in the number 22, PPG Ford. Battle for 11th between Jake Millsap and Jose Ruiz. Tree Wade, Bolt Zoo, and Vols Fan 88 extending some friendly pokes at each other about college football. I'm a Miami fan, so I can't say anything. My team is just not great. But we're there, week after week. hoping that the SEC crumbles and falls into our hands once again. Go Canes. Zach Meredith in fourth, trying to hold off Shad Swatsworth. B-Dogs Gaming chats for the first time. He says, OH. Somebody else finish that. Brad Herman leading this one. Hunter Peach in second. Jordan Bain in third. But the closest battles right now, look at these three. Josh Arnold, Matt Boone, and Nate Lehman. Watching all of this unfold. .24 laps complete at the Texas Motor Speedway. The estimate is 25 to 35 laps for the pit window, but we'll see if they can extend that just a bit further. They get 4 sets of tires and only 1 fast repair in tonight's race, so they've got to be careful. Brad Herman leading this race, Hunter Peach in second, but not for long. Here comes points leader and last week's winner, Jordan Bain in the number 28 car. He takes second around the outside of the number 26, Reem Camry. Matt Boone to the inside of Shad Swatsworth. This for the 5th position. There goes Boone, sending it into 3, but he's not going to twist it out of shape. He's going to be smooth as cold iced tea out of turn number 4, and Boone gets around Swatsworth for 5th. Back through this field, this is Jeff Lednam in the 37 to the inside of Josh Roberts in the 15. Josh Roberts in what looks like the, who's the Flaming Skull guy? Was that, was it Ghost Rider? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. The Flaming Skull guy on the motorcycle, is that Ghost Rider? That's what the 15, that's what the 15 of Josh Roberts looks like to me. Jeff Lednam just gets around Roberts for the 18th position, but these two still at it into 3. Roberts not giving up the fight, side by side with Lednam, floats up the racetrack. Lednam doesn't have the steam to attempt a crossover. Roberts makes it stick for the position, and at the front, Brad Herman watches his lead slowly dwindle away over the last 5 laps. Jordan Bain has been slowly creeping up, and you can see for 4 out of the last 5, Herman has been slower than Bain. This time around on lap 27, Herman quicker by 1/10 of a second. So we'll see where these drivers end up a couple of laps from now, catching up to lapped traffic that looks like the 29 of Randy Bousquet. Bolt Zoo and Tree Wade confirming that I'm right about Ghost Rider. Thank you all. Appreciate you. And if you've just recently joined us a quarter of the way through this race, I'm Rick James bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of di9Designs Xfinity Racing from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. It's been caution-free thus far, and the curse of the commentator just breaks it. Yellow flags light up like a hockey arena, and it's Jarrett Manning in the number 7 who's smoking, motionless, and that Chevy Camaro needs a tow back to the pits. Let's go back and see what exactly happened to Jarrett Manning. This is coming into the pits. So Manning must have left the pits on cold tires. Still hasn't left the pits. Now leaving the pits. Let's see what happened to the 7. Obviously accelerating out of pit road on cold tires. He may have just spun it here coming up off the apron. And no, this is the lap before. He's up to speed now. And he just loses control. You can already see the 7's going around, and he slams the wall twice. And all that flipping around and all those loud noises for nothing. My apologies. But now we know what happened to the 7 car. And we're under caution for the first time today, so Brad Herman is your race leader. He's going to lead this entire procession of race cars down pit road. Everybody is coming down, well, almost everybody's coming down for services, isn't it? We've got a couple of guys who won't be coming through. B-Dog's letting me know that it's incredibly loud. My mistake. We'll fix that for next time. But that gives us a chance to take our first 60-second break. So that's what we'll do. We'll take a break for 1 minute, and we'll be back for 20 ad-free minutes of action. Don't go anywhere. Back in 60.
Yo. All right. I am here.
Back at Virtual Texas Motor Speedway, Brad Herman being scored as the leader with Jordan Bain in the second position. And I am now joined by royalty in the booth, Mr. Repeat 1975. Welcome to round 4 of di9Designs Xfinity.
Rick James, my broadcasting brother from another network. How are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy. I've enjoyed the first quarter of this race so far. Jordan Bain looking to make it 3 wins in a row after capturing the win last week and the week previous, but Brad Herman showing that he's got a lot of speed.
Yeah, Brad Herman's absolutely got a lot of speed in that MTC Esports number 85, I believe. But one thing that has always stuck out with Jordan Bain is just how consistent he is and how great he is on the long run. I ran a lot of laps here before the race kicked off just to kind of mess around with the guys a little bit, see, kind of get a feel for the track after the truck race last night. Very, very loose. You got to tippy toe quite a bit for the first few laps. But after that, it really starts to wear down on those tires, and it looks like so far, the cream has really rise to the top with these first 3 or 4. And man, it's been a great battle so far.
Shout out to near Zach Attack 13, who just recently followed. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Let us know what you love about the racing here. Pete, 27 cars strong, ready to restart this race. And you know more about this racetrack than I do, Pete. Texas, with the sun going down here, what is it going to do to these drivers? As you can see, some parts of the track are shaded and some aren't.
Yeah, the front stretch absolutely shaded, and as I kind of pan around off of the leader looking into turns 1 and 2, the high side is a little shaded, bottom is still going to be nice and hot and slick. Last night in the trucks, you had to let off, kind of feather the throttle getting in and off of 1 and 2, but you were full send in 3 and 4. These guys, they've got to let off at both ends, but absolutely, with some shade, it's going to give them a little bit more grip, which is going to be a little bit more speed, going to see a little bit more side by side. They got pretty strung out in the beginning before that first yellow.
Getting ready to flip the switch and go racing one more time. Hunter Peach starting in 3rd, Zach Meredith starting in 4th. Everybody getting ready to go, and the cold tires were already a problem for the 7 of Jarrett Manning, Pete, so I'm assuming that could be an issue for drivers on this restart. It will be the first restart of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than the initial start, this is going to be a true test of everybody. You know, maybe throughout the run, they were able to make a couple of small adjustments with brake bias or whatever. But now they've got to reset, get going. They had a great green flag start to the race. We'll have to see if they get back after it and kind of keep things on the cool until later on. But Rick, we're going back green.
Brad Herman and Jordan Bain on the front row. Green flag flies at Texas.
85 got a great start, and the 19 of Millsap just behind him. Jordan Bain to the outside, and everybody tippy-toeing still side by side for a few of them. Bottom lane kind of prevailing right now, just getting on through, let the car coast, get back on that loud pedal as soon as possible as we see the 19 challenging for the lead.
17 of Zach Meredith to the inside of Brad Herman. The Napa Know-How Chevrolet puts his Camaro on the point, takes Jordan Bain with him. 34 laps complete at Virtual Texas. Brad Herman sitting in third. Hunter Peach is in fourth. Rounding out the top 10, Brad Rivers in car 69. Chance between Benjamin Lee and Stan Carnathan for position change as well. Mike Kinsley in the number 12 Altel Ford dropping back. Pete, drivers shuffling positions like crazy after this first restart.
Absolutely. Zach Meredith kind of snookered me. I thought that was the 19 of old, the other guy that I said before. I apologize. But it's actually the 17 of Zach Meredith. And he's actually pulling away from Bain and Brad just a little bit. Everybody on that bottom side going through, I'm sorry, not side by side, single file rather. Everybody side by side back to about, 9th or 10th spot.
A tough fight at Texas. Everybody trying to get settled out. Zach Meredith leading by 0.6 of a second. Jordan Bain and Brad Herman separated by 0.2. Enrique Quinones and Ben Lee 3 wide out of turn number 4, the 151. Losing the spot to Josh Franks, and that looks like Quinones that's going through the grass. One driver there was going through the grass, and was that Josh Franks in the 6 car? And it looks like it was indeed Josh Franks, aka Expert Racing, the second driver to take the scenic route down the front stretch after the 27 of Sam Wade. And Pete, it's the same story. Drivers just getting wide out of 4, hitting that wall.
Man, I tell you what, Josh Franks, he's very lucky that he didn't get more damage than he did. But you mentioned earlier in the race, that number 12 Altel car, that throwback to Ryan Newman, that car looks amazing. Whoever made that and then put it up on Trading Paints did an amazing job.
Pete, you and I love throwbacks. We talk die casts and throwback paint schemes all the time, but this one here of Michael Kinsley, this one takes the cake. It's just cool. We see throwbacks all the time, but this one here really just brings you back to the days of Ryan Newman versus Jimmy Johnson, that rookie battle. And every Friday, you knew one driver always had a shot. The Rocket.
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned the Rock. I'm glad you did, because it was kind of a perfect segue to what I was going to say. I remember one race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jeff Hammond, he said that car was set to kill, and Flying Ryan went on, took the pole, and I will never ever forget the statements that Ryan Newman made when he was on that streak of poles. Always fast.
A great piece of history there. Thanks, Mike Kinsley, for bringing that special paint scheme along. Kinsley side by side with Ben Lee in the 151 Xbox car, who's hanging out the tail, Ben. It's not a dirt track, man. Hold on to her. Keep her pointed in the right direction. Ben Lee in the 151 sending it down into turn number 3. And Pete, that back end just sliding out of 2 like he was losing control, but a great save nonetheless.
Absolutely, man, and you always steer in the direction that your car is sliding. These guys are turning right, coming off of these lefts. Make no mistake whatsoever. But that's also the it factor later on when these cars get super tight. Look at that 151 slideways.
To more calmer waters on this Texas ocean, Zach Meredith leading by 3/4 of a second over Jordan Bain, winning the last 2 races and going for a hat trick here. Hunter Peach in the 3rd position makes up the 3rd part of this Camaro Mustang Camry Trinity. Brad Herman sitting in 4th. Battle for 5th, Pete. Shad Swatsworth trying his best to hold off Nate Lehman, who's got Cole Snyder behind him, and then J. Paw and Jose Ruiz side by side. It is, as you would call it, my friend, a hornet's nest.
Absolutely. They may all be, strung out just a little bit by a couple tenths here or there. But, man, things can happen so fast, especially when you see how quick these cars will snap and step out. one mistake by one of these guys can collect an easy 5 or 6. It's not always just hit that brake pedal and you stop. These things will slide forever. I know I got into the back of one guy last night, just could not stop. That ended up being my first and only quick repair in the truck race. So far, so good for these guys, though.
44 laps underway at Virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Zach Meredith still holding on to a 3/4 of a second gap. Jordan Bain, Hunter Peach, 1/4 of a second separated. Then Nate Lehman, Cole Snyder, a 10th apart. Pete, when you're this close, we're going to ride along with Nate Lehman here on his fender. When you're this close, mistakes cannot be made. And we don't know. Is it advantageous for Lehman to just sit here and ride comfortably behind the one of Swatsworth?
It could be, absolutely. He could be in his dirty air, which is actually helping his car turn a little bit. You watch the one of Shad come off the corner. Again, he's a little loose in the rear tires, but the 14, he looks kind of steady. And then right behind him, he's also got he also looks pretty steady. No real issues in stepping out, so that dirty air might actually be tightening up that 14 just enough.
Cole Snyder in the number 24 Box Cave Chevrolet, running in the 7th position ahead of Josh J. Paul Arnold. In the number 22 Candy Striped PPG Paints Ford. Brad Rivers sitting in 9th. Jake Millsap in the number 19 Napa Know-How Chevy, with a little di9Designs flair on the back there, part of that Cold Dog Racing team. Sitting in 10th, Ruiz right behind him in 11th. Pete, what I love is that there's action all over the place. Even Mike Kinsley and Josh Franks are only a 10th and a half apart.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's still kind of staying close and in tow with each other, if you will. There is definitely a bit of a draft here, but if those tires wear out and you can't keep up, you just can't keep up. But yeah, I see that 6 and that 12 right there with each other. They've got a gap to the guy behind and a little bit of a gap to the guy in front. But man, when you can set your sight on one position and you go ahead and you can take that spot away, then you set the sight for the next one and the next one and the next one. These two, though, man, they look like they're having a good race just between themselves.
If you and I are having a good time up here, imagine the good time that these guys are having down here. Zach Meredith, though, not having as good of a time as he did because Jordan Bain has reeled him in. The number 17 looking at the 28, coming in to seal his fate. The Jaws music is playing, and here comes car 28, Pete.
Car 28, Jordan Bain coming up. He's got a little bit of a pull already off that 17. He's just been kind of laying back just as he did in the first run. Then he starts to creep in closer and creep in closer. He's got a little bit of a push from the guy behind, and the guy behind him has a little bit of a pull. Then you see old Shad Swatsworth back there, just kind of waiting in the wings. Top 5 all running the same exact line. In fact, going all the way back, you're really seeing a lot of the same line as well. I really think these cars are still so loose. They've got not as loose as they were originally, but still they cannot go full throttle all the way around here. Boehner showing one more time. He's just waiting. He'll take that lead when he's ready, and 17's going to fall back. He'll probably lose a good 4 spots, maybe, depending on how much fuel they've got left in the tank. I would imagine it's not going to be long before they come on down pit road.
10 laps from halfway. Once again, the track facts brought to you by di9Designs, letting us know drivers should be able to make it about 35 laps maximum on one green flag fuel run. Only 4 sets of tires and 1 fast repair to these drivers. Hunter Peach sitting in 3rd, still biding his time between car 28 and Pete. It looks like you're right. It looks like drivers are just starting to get settled for their run in to pit road. But here you've got Matt Boone, Jake Millsap, Jeff Lednum, and Grandpa Coey all fighting for 11th spot. And there goes the 19 of Millsap, who slams the wall on the outside. Pete, 19 in big trouble now before pit stops here, and Josh Franks goes off the track again, slams the outside wall, now down through the infield. Franks having to recover his race car, coming back on the racing surface on the inside line, but he saves it and keeps it from any more damage. Pete, we stay green inside the final 70.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, that was some great hands by the 27. He was coming off the corner, already loose. Great reaction by him not to run into the back of Josh Franks. Franks not exactly having the best time tonight. But man, if you stay in it, you never know what could happen later on. I don't know if he still has the fast repair, or he burned it up earlier. This is unfortunately in iRacing. If you don't turn that fast repair off when the race first starts, and you go down pit road on a green flag stop, it'll burn it anyway. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he still has it. He can get that number 6 machine fixed up and be right back in contention with a few of these guys.
Cole Snyder in the box cave. Chevrolet right now running 8th, just ahead of Brad Rivers in that 69 car. Hunter Peach running 3rd, and the leaders still single file. Meanwhile, Jake Millsap and Stan Carnathan about to trade hands, but Carnathan doesn't see much of a fight. Puts that 33 to the inside of the 19, and Millsap could be in some poor shape, Pete. You just mentioned the fast repair. We haven't even hit the halfway mark yet. If I were the 19, I would hold on to that fast repair. There's still so much race to go. Here comes Quinones on the outside of Millsap for 15th.
Yeah, Enrique doing a great job as always. You know, you mentioned that box cave a couple of times. Rick, I don't know if you've actually seen the tweet that was sent out by the company. That is an amazing piece of furniture. If you go over to boxcave.com, and this isn't any kind of a plug whatsoever, I know it's all about di9 for you, but buddy, these are like large ottomans that just sit in a room. When you're ready to race, or you're ready to play any kind of a flight simulator game, they actually fold out. It's got a gaming chair, it's got a place for your console or your tower, it's got a place for your keyboard, a place for everything to set up, and then of course you got your TV screen right in front of it. And then when the company's over, you don't want a racing rig right out, you fold the box cave right back up, and it's just a normal piece of furniture. Padded on top, really look pretty cool.
You know, after this, I'm actually going to have to check that out here. Zach Meredith now on the outside. Here comes Jordan Bain, Pete. The Shark's about to take his bite. The 28B Water Ford now to the inside of the number 17 Napa Know-How Chevy. Brad Peach running in 3rd in the Ream Camry. He's got Brad Herman in 4th, watching all of this unfold. Bain to the line. Car 28 leads once again, but can he make it stick, Pete? These are some worn Goodyears.
Very worn Goodyears. The 17 made his money on the top earlier, just like you see him right now trying to fight on top. Will he have the run? Yes, he does. Bain does not come up to block. Peach is going to go right with him, as well as Brad Herman. 3 on the bottom, 1 on top. 17 staying strong.
28 stiff on the inside, not giving up an inch. Now listing lazily up off that white line, diamonding the dogleg as he should. 59 laps underway in the Lone Star State. 2x2, 2 rows deep, as Brad Herman into the number 85. TJ's team Ford runs side by side with Hunter Peach. Watching 7/10 adrift is Shad Swatsworth, being pursued by Josh Arnold. Brad Rivers and Jose Ruiz, they're separated. Brad Rivers and Cole Snyder separated by 1/10 of a second. That for the 8th position. Stan Carnathan in the 33, catching up to Quinones in the 9, Pete. And Josh Franks with his own battles back in 21st. He's 4/10 behind Mike Allen. And look at Jordan Bain now, Pete. He's got a 4/10 of a second lead over Herman. He is shot out of a cannon.
17 went from leading to 4th place, and before long, Shad Swatsworth's going to be right in his rear view, trying to take up one more spot. But now we got Jordan Bain, Brad Rivers, and then Hunter Peach, 1, 2, and 3, with again the 17 back to P4.
Big shout out to Hop Along Cassidy for subscribing. Thank you for Cassidy for subscribing. Welcome to di9Designs, and the caution is out. Josh Roberts has had an incident. Let's go back and see what's happened to Josh Roberts. The number 15 car, motionless. Not even a sound. And we'll see. Well, let's go back, Pete, and have a look with Josh Roberts in car number 15 already wrecking down the back straight. Let's go back just a little bit further.
Pounded it.
And, well, no, that's too soon. All right, I guess. One more time. Let's just run it back from here. I wish I could get that smoother. Anyway, let's run it back from here. It just looks like Roberts came high at a turn number 2. Same thing that happened with the 7 of Jarrett Manning. And once you come off that wall, Pete, it's just impossible to recover that car, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's I don't know if you remember Kansas on console. Once you bounce off, it was like a rubber band. There's nothing you could do about it. 15 tried to save it, didn't want to hit the 27 down low, put it back up into the wall again, bounced off straight to the inside wall. And if he does not have his one sole fast repair left, he is going to be on pit road for quite a while, getting at least his mandatory parts of the car fixed, if not some optional.
Well, while the drivers are coming down pit road, fans at home, we're going to take a 2-minute break. That's going to guarantee ad-free racing for at minimum 20 minutes. Stick with us. We'll be back in 120 seconds. Stretch your legs, grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll be back for the second half of di9Designs Xfinity Racing from Texas. Back with you from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. There are the points brought to you by di9Designs. White Walker 86 says, great job tonight. Great to hear Pete back in the booth. And Pete, it is a pleasure to have you back in this booth, my friend. We've been on a roll, man. We've been making some magic here after last week and this week as well.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I got out there. I got in some practice with these guys. Wanted to get a good feel for the car, what they were going to be going through. I did, and man, it's always a lot of fun anytime you got some great chemistry to call these races. You know, these turn down for what guys, they do a great job putting on a show. Rick, you and I just get lucky enough every now and then to get together to talk about the action that we see. We're the lucky ones, sir.
You know, I heard something akin to that. What I've normally been telling people. This actually came from Al Michaels, and he said this to Kevin Hart. Funny as it is, he said, "When you're a sports broadcaster, the sport itself is the music, and the broadcasters just speak the lyrics." And obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but you know, that stuck with me. And when people will DM us and will say, "Hey, you know, you guys did a good job," and drivers, I specifically, will DM us and say that, and I'll, you know, just catch myself and say, nope, you're the one making the music. All we do is speaking the lyrics. So you're 100% right. We're the lucky ones here, and we're gonna get back to some racing here. We get to be in the booth calling it, man. Brad Herman and Jordan Bain gonna lead us to the line. Pete, we're on the back nine now, man. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, all downhill from here. There's a little bit of banter going on in chat. Calling J-Paw, wondering where he's at, when he's going to make his way on up. Even Papa Bear got into it and said, hey, these guys been dragging their brakes. Get on up. Rick, we are going back green, 85-28, and roll Hunter Peach, P3.
At the line, listen to them roar past 66 laps underway in the Lone Star State.
85 got a pretty good lead. Hunter Peach might try to take a look under Jordan Bain. Bain slowly trying to ease his way down, see if maybe Peach would check up just a little bit. No such luck. Bain's got a pretty good run on the high side. Is he going to throw it into 3 and 4? Yeah, he's going to take it easy. You know, Peach had to back out of the gas as well. Here comes Shad Swatsworth now up to P number 4, and behind him, side by side for P5.
85, 28, 26, Ford, Toyota, your top three. Herman, Bain, Peach, Swadsworth in fourth, Meredith in fifth. White Walker says they are the orchestra and we are the conductor. I don't want to conduct this hornet orchestra, Pete. That's scary. The one of Swadsworth to the inside of Meredith. J-Paw Arnold behind them, running in sixth.
Excuse me. Yeah, you look at that 17, he's got a little bit of a run on the high side. One not yet completely clear. 17 has been making a lot of hay on that high side, and it's also helping him because it's not as loose up there. The one, he's really got to pedal it. He's kind of pinned down. He's in the loosest part of that corner. Now 17, he should be able to clear the one coming off of 3 and 4. As he does, going to come on down to the line, move that 17 up one.
Been a nice race so far for Jordan Bain, who's leading Brad Herman. 0.2 of a second is the gap. Jose Ruiz now on the tail end of the top 10 with Nate Lehman in 11th. Jeff Lednum running in 12th in the number 37 Ford. Pete Quinones sitting in 15th, down 8 spots. One of our biggest droppers of the race so far, but one of our biggest movers is Grandpa Coey. He's up 10 spots in 14th.
A little bit of a battle right behind that 9 of Enrique. And it looks like he's going to be able to clear that. They're going to go back single file behind him. And it looks like everybody's just trying to get back to where they feel comfortable. They don't have a car inside. They don't have a car outside. One car just about loses it coming off of turn 2. It's going to be that number 15 back there.
The 69 and the 22 of Brad Rivers and J-Paw right behind Shad Swatsworth in 6th and 7th respectively. Brad Rivers has moved up 12 spots since the green flag flew. White Walker says Shad saves his tires a lot here to be able to run fast in the late run. Boehner figured out what Shad was doing after the season 1 race here, and Shad's brother Kurt, aka White Walker, giving some sage advice, Pete. But for now, Brad Herman and Hunter Peach battling behind the 28, while Zach Meredith watches Shad Swatsworth get closer to the top 3.
You talk about somebody getting close. Hunter Peach really got close to that outside wall coming off of 4. I thought for sure he might have skinned it just a little bit, but no harm, no foul. He is sticking to the outside of Brad Herman. 17 just saying, all right, one of you guys go ahead and make your move. I need a hole to follow through. They're going to need to get single file if they want to try to get back up there with Boehner. He was great in the long run. On the short run, you don't want him to get away.
inside the final 50 laps. Jordan Bain, Hunter Peach, Brad Herman, your top three. Nate Lehman sitting in the 10th position. Enrique Quiñones running in 14th now that he's gotten to the inside of Stan Carnathan. Back in the 20th spot, you've got Mike Kinsley, who's just caught up to the back end of Bobby Pierce, and they're following Josh Franks in the 6th. Everybody fighting for very precious and limited real estate in Texas.
Yeah, 12 really having to check up. Does not want to run into the back end of that 88 too much. A little bit of a love tap there that made the 88 squirrely. A little bit more contact. 88 going to get sent up to the outside wall. Good save by him. Good hands by the 12 to check up, seeing that 88 was not in control, and that allowed the 5 to close up just a little bit more.
Bobby Pierce in that 88 car, Mike Kinsley running 20th, and then you've got Mike Allen in the 21st position in that spooky number 5 Chevrolet. Josh Roberts in 23rd, Randy Bousquet in 24th, Jarrett Manning in the 25th position. Jordan Bain still leading this race, 75 laps underway at Texas. Brad Herman back to 4th. Brad Rivers, however, up to 5th and moving up through the field, Pete, up 13 places, and over the last 5 laps, Brad Rivers has been running almost identical times with Brad Herman.
Yeah, you got to look at that Rep Sports Raise Energy, number 69. He changes up that paint scheme every now and then. I just sent him a few decals from Rep Sports the other day. Like to see him try to incorporate, what he can. But man, I've been spotting for Brad on Wednesday nights and just kind of talking to him a little bit, doing a great job. The man was fast over on console, fast here on iRacing as well. I wish that guy a whole lot of luck.
In the interest of balance, where can Brad Rivers improve his game, Pete? Where does he have the most potential?
Most potential is that long run. I'd love to see him stick with what he's got right now. If a caution comes out, make up a few more spots on the restart, and then hang with Boehner and hang with Brad, the other Brad Herman, hang with Shad and whatnot on the long run. That's about the only part that I can see. But then again, the track, as slick as it is, when you're turning right to go left, to catch the rear end, you're going to burn up the tires a little bit anyway. So these Xfinity cars are a whole lot looser than the trucks were last night.
Speaking of Raise Sports, Pete, we see Jordan Peach catching up to the back end of Jordan Bain. Don't you have a little something with Rep Sports, I should say, with Raise Energy?
I do, actually. In fact, man, I'll tell you what, when this is all said and done, I'm going to send you a link. If you care to share it, great. But if you want a free sample of Raise Energy, just go to repsports.com/free. They'll send you 4 free cans as well as a whole bunch of on-the-go and hydration samples. You pay $10, they give you $10 right back in a gift card. So you pay absolutely nothing, and man, it's a great product. I've been using it for several months now.
And if there were to be such a code for the greatest broadcaster that ever was, Repeat 1975, what would that code be on Rep Sports?
You could just go ahead and repeat that one more time. See what I did there? Repeat 1975. So yeah, repsports.com/free, promo Repeat 1975. And man, enjoy.
It's in the Twitch chat. Now, enough shameless plugging. Back to racing. Brad Herman holding off Zach Meredith, man. They're only separated by 1/10 of a second. We're inside of the final 40 laps. Brad Rivers in front. Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was just going to say, I'm working my way back up through. We were talking about J-Power earlier. He's got the 17 right in front of him. I said there was a little bit of banter on that last caution. Even like I said, even Pop Bear was kind of getting in. Said, man, those guys up front, they're kind of dragging their brake, waiting for you to get up there. Well, now he's up there. What are they going to do with him?
Josh Arnold running in the 5th position. White Walker says Shad is making up ground in the late run, talking about his brother Shad Swatsworth, who is 1/2 of a second behind J. Paul Arnold in the number 22 car. Grandpa Coey up into 14th. He finds himself 0.8 of a second behind Quinones, and the yellow flag comes out. Jake Millsap involved in this one in the 19 car, slow with obvious damage to the right-hand side of his Cold Dog Racing di9Designs Chevrolet. Let's go back and see what happened to Millsap. Battling with Stan Carnathan, and it looks like Carnathan just gets hooked on the wall, and Millsap gets launched straight into the air. Let's go back one more time and see what happened between Carnathan and Millsap. Coming out of 4 now, Pete, Carnathan will have the inside line, and they may have made contact beforehand.
Yeah, kind of what I'm guessing. You see this 33 down low, 19 up high. Is this just an issue of not letting up? Nope, not completely clear is what the call is right there. 19 came on down, and even though he cleared himself off with 33, 19 definitely got the worst end of that deal.
19 did not look clear to me, Pete, so Jake Millsap involved in another scrap. It looks like he is shiny and on the move here, and he may have used one of those fast repairs, or the only fast repair that he's got. Jordan Bain leading the rest of the field down pit road, so they're going to be restarting with about 35 laps to go. And according to those di9Design race facts, Pete, that could be the maximum that these drivers can go on one tank of fuel.
Yeah, and it would be the first true test. We saw the 17, I believe it was the 17 that tried to pit first earlier, or might not have been the 17, might have been the 15. One of those teen cars, we'll just say, that ended up actually bringing out that caution. So I don't know if that was the furthest that they could go before the tires really started to play a big factor in it. We might have to see who can actually control these things the most as they get tighter, or are they going to start to break loose to where they really have to wheel it, just like they do on the restarts.
Drivers coming out of pit road, Jordan Bain still being scored as the leader with Hunter Peach beside him. Let's see if we can bother Jordan Bain for a quick word on how his race is going. Jordan Bain, Rick and Repeat up top. You got me?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on with you, man? You're leading this race, and right now you're heating up. One more win, and you'll be on fire, Boehner. That'll be a hat trick in the first 3 of 4 races.
Yeah, man. This one's going to be tough, though. I mean, Hunter's fast, Zach's fast. I know Brad is not showing all of his cards right now. I get the feeling. So, yeah, we got a long run here to finish if there's no more cautions, so I like that. But, yeah, man, lot can happen still.
35 to go at the line, Boehner. Hunter Peach is going to be restarting on your outside. Have you found more success in the long run or the short run?
Man, I've pushed it a little harder each of these runs. So I don't know. I think either run will be okay. I think the biggest thing is going to be keeping the clean air. It's going to be really hard to pass, even if you save your tires a little better once we get halfway through the run, I think so. Yeah, we'll see. Just going to try to keep track position without abusing the tires. If someone really wants to let it rip here, I probably got to let them go. But we'll see. It's going to be a fun 34-lap run to the finish, so we'll see.
We'll see if it goes caution-free. That B-Water Ford could be driven into victory lane for the 3rd straight time. And with all that analysis, Jordan Bain, that brings me to the most important question of this race and potentially this season. Jordan Bain, what is your favorite soda?
Oh, man. I mean, I got to go, like, if I'm not drinking something diet, with cherry Coke. I think someone said that in one of your streams last time, but it's true, man. Cherry Coke, man.
Cherry Coke is pretty good. I like cherry sodas. Wild cherry Pepsi, pretty spot on.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you get back to work and stop fooling around, man. You've got work to do, Boehner. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Keep the shiny side up.
Thanks, guys. Hope it's a good finish up there for you.
Good luck, Bain.
Pete, what's your favorite soda?
My favorite soda? Man, I'd probably have to go with a good old Mountain Dew, Diet Dew.
You know, I don't think I've ever had a Diet Mountain Dew. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I can't tell you the last time I had a Diet Mountain Dew. I've been drinking a lot of soda lately. Maybe I should switch to Diet.
It's not bad, man. Taste actually, I'd prefer the taste of that over the regular diet or over the regular Mountain Dew.
Keep the DC on you, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Jordan Bain and Hunter Peach on the front row. Actually, you know what? Before we actually get back to racing here, folks, in the chat, just let us know what your favorite soda is. Why not? White Walker 86 says Do Zero. Well, he also said Coors Light. He's also cheering for Jim Coey as well, who's up to 7th. Everybody's having a good time in the chat, man. Maybe he's had one of those Coors Lights and he's feeling loose, man. But I'm having a good time. The fans are having a good time. We're going to restart with 34 to go, Pete. So far, who do you like?
You got to go with probably the obvious, the 28 of old Mr. Bain. But I tell you what, I raced against Hunter Peach last night. Bill's legend, or the 17 Zachary Meredith, he's no slouch. 85's no slouch. Obviously, J-Pac can get it done, but how about that 24? Big surprise there. I got to go with my buddy Boehner.
34 laps to go. Jordan Bain leads the field to the line. Listen to them come down. It's a restart at Texas.
At Texas Motor Speedway, looks like the lights are actually coming on, transitioning from day to night. A little bit cooler of a temperature. I'll actually go ahead and pull the info on the track right now. Track is showing to be 82 chilly degrees for the Lone Star Heat.
Wreck at the back.
And there's a wreck all the way in the back. Caution's out.
Caution's going to be out. The 37 of Jeff Lednum right into the wall. Caution number 4 flies at the Texas Motor Speedway. One right after the other on the restart. Let's see what happened to the 37 of Jeff Lednum. Already wrecking at a turn number 2, and it looks like a two-man wreck as the 27 Tennessee Volunteers Ford of Sam Wade gets into car 37. Let's go and have one more look, and Pete, it just looks like the 37 just got loose. Cold tires probably.
Yeah, he came off that corner, and that's the most treacherous end. You cannot go anywhere near full. You see him kind of dip and dive and just about collected. I'm not quite sure who that was that went flying by. I think that might have been Kinsley. Yeah, there you go. And Kinsley, very, very fortunate not to get collected right there.
Let's have one more look from Mike Kinsley's view and see how he got through that crash. Well, possibly. What have I done now? Okay, one more time. Let's back this up. I always have the worst time with these controls. Let's try again. There it is.
There it is.
Man, what a move right there. That right there has earned the Cole Trickle move of the race. Mike Kinsley in that number 12 car. Everybody watching, let it know. The Cole Trickle move of the race goes to Tecumseh, Michigan's Mike Kinsley.
Ice cream! Yeah, man, great move by Mike. Old Flying Ryan, able to swerve around and miss it all. I like that clip. There you go.
The Cole Trickle move of the race.
Yeah.
I incorporated it a couple of weeks ago. If somebody manages to drive through a crash, they win the Cole Trickle move of the race. And I don't, you know what? I only picked it because it makes me laugh. Just the thought of just Tom Cruise looking to the left. Ice cream.
It's true. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Rick, I gotta give a big old shout out to our buddy Swats, White Walker out there in chat. The man is actually on his honeymoon in the mountains of North Carolina. I remember for my first, or it might have been my 3rd anniversary, my wife and I went out to Lake Lure, actually, where they filmed the movie Last of the Mohicans and Dirty Dancing, believe it or not. And yeah, White Walker's out there, or Swats is out there and enjoying some time with his new bride. So Swats, buddy, again, man, congratulations. Wish you and the missus all the best. Sincerely.
Going to green, next time by fans at home. We're still ad-free for the next 9 minutes, 54 seconds. Thanks to your patience through those pesky 2-minute ads. Should only have one more if we get to a caution here, but we'll be restarting with 29 laps to go. Kurt in the chat says he's a big fan of Patrick Swayze. But which Patrick Swayze, Kurt? The real one or the one that lives at Sunnyvale? Let us know. Zach Meredith sits in second, Hunter Peach in third. Josh Arnold up 10 spots from where this race started. And taking a look at those points, Pete, J-Paw, Josh Arnold sits in third right now, just 1 spot behind Matt Boone, but he's got a great cushion. It's an 18-point lead to Zach Meredith in fourth.
Yeah, Zach Meredith sitting just outside that top 3. Shatz Wadsworth right there, he's got 98 points. None of these guys are really far out of it, but Bain absolutely has a pretty solid lead so far into points. I think you said, 3 wins out of the first 4 races, something like that. Some of these other guys are really going to have to, figure out exactly what Bain's doing and try to beat him at his own game.
White Walker in the chat says, wife is a big fan of Sam Elliott, so next son might be named Wade. And yeah, it's an 18-point gap between third and fourth. And at the top, Jordan Bain going for his 3rd win in 4 starts. A 75% hit rate to start the season would be incredible. You see, the lights are out on the fence, so we're going green. Next time by, we'll see if we can go the distance. It will be 29 laps to go when we get the green, Pete. These guys are on fresh tires, fresh fuel. They should be able to go the distance from here.
Lots, I'll go ahead and fill him in just in case he doesn't. Rick, if you've never seen the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott, that's where Dalton and Wade and all that, man, it's a great movie. If you've never seen it, it's called Roadhouse.
The only thing I know about Roadhouse is that Family Guy joke where Peter Griffin looks into the camera, narrows his vision, and goes, Roadhouse.
You got to go back and watch it, man. If you like tough guy bouncer movies, fighting and rich guys not getting away with things, little guys stepping in, you'll love it.
Kurt's disappointed that I haven't seen Roadhouse. Kurt, you would literally not be my friend if I gave you the list of movies I have not seen. So ponder that while we go back to green. 28 of Jordan Bain and Zach Meredith inside, outside. On row number 2, you've got Hunter Peach in the Ream Camry. Brad Herman in the 85 Ford coming to the line. Green flag is out, and it's 34 laps to go in the Lone Star State.
Jordan Bain gets a great launch. I'm not quite sure if he was slowing him down right on that start or not, but man, he absolutely accelerated away. Hunter Peach on that low line, Zach Meredith to the outside. Looks like the 85 now trying to pull up to the inside. They're going to have a little bit of a push and shove, a little bit of extra momentum getting into 3 and 4. 17 has liked that high side the entire race, getting a little bit sprawled out behind this 28.
Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet, your top 3, 28, 26, 17. Back in the 10th position, Brad Rivers right behind Nate Lehman. He's got Jose Ruiz right behind him. Mike Kinsley up into the 13th position. Josh Franks in 17th, battling with Mike Allen side by side. Franks loose out of 2, losing all sorts of speed. Allen gets into Grandpa Coey, goes into the stratosphere. Allen lands back down like a gymnast with no spot, and the number 5, Freddie Krueger Chevrolet, has been junked. What a crash down the back straight. And let's go take one more look. Pete, I don't know if you saw that, but wow. And White Walker just confirming that as well. Wow is all that he could say, and we're a bit further here. Let's go back and see what happened to Mike Allen. Out of turn 2, so this is on the outside with Josh Franks. Franks already losing the race car. Allen was as well. They both lost it together. And there goes Josh Allen, just pinched into the wall. And Jim Coey, the launching pad for that spooky rocket that goes up into the Texas sky. One more time, let's ride along with Mike Allen. Hold on. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 with stock cars. Mike Allen currently being scored in the 21st position. And we will have 35 laps to go next time by. Fans, we're still ad-free for the next 4 minutes. White Walker says 10s all around for the aerial and the landing. Form was a little bit sloppy, and there was a bounce on the landing, so I'd probably give him 8.5, but, you know, I'm not a judge.
1, 2, Josh Franks is coming for you. 3, 4. Holy cow. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I won't do that again, I promise. I'd like to see these guys go green from here on out, Rick. I really would. They had a great start, great middle. I'd like to see them finish this off strong.
Yeah, caution's breeding cautions a bit, and I don't know if there's a full moon out over this virtual Texas Motor Speedway, but guys are getting a bit antsy. But you couldn't blame them now for getting just a bit more desperate, Pete. The laps are setting in. These drivers know that there's going to be fewer than 35 laps when they restart this race.
Yeah, and it's going to be go time. Hopefully, you know, if they've all gone down pit road for the last time, their tires are starting to come in. You know, get the looseness off. You know, under these cautions, rock it back and forth a little bit. You know, get a little bit of a load in that tire. You know, build up some heat if you can, and yeah, just do what you got to do to survive these last laps and come on home with the best possible finish.
Fifth caution out over the Texas Motor Speedway. Drivers cross that line, and we now have 25 laps to go. The lights are still on, so we're going to restart most likely with 23 circuits remaining. Let's have a word with the driver of the number 17 Napa Know-How Chevrolet, Mr. Zach Meredith. Zach Meredith, Rick James, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Repeat and I have been watching your race closely all night long. We're wondering if you've got the car to win the race.
Oh, I definitely have this short run speed. I've been faster on every short run there has been so far, so I just hope it can go green from here on out. I can't keep doing these restarts. I keep getting to his outside, but these cautions are not going in my favor right now.
Pete, you were echoing the same sentiment towards the 17 of Meredith.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Zach, you've looked very, very strong on that outside. You've fought back. You've maintained or kept the lead, even took the lead on that high line, while others are kind of pinned down on that bottom, really having to throttle the gas or play with the throttle a little bit in order not to wash up into you or not to spin out, which seems pretty easy on the track tonight. What do you have in store? What do you have up your sleeve to get past Boehner and grab that first W?
You just gotta do what I did on that last restart and grip it on that high side. As you guys could tell by that, right before that caution came out, I got right up next to him on that backstretch. As long as I can do that again, there ain't no reason why I can't win this race.
Definitely going to be looking forward to talking to you. If not as the winner, definitely in that top three. Got a very, very strong Napa car. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
Green flag next time around, Pete. Jordan Bain and Zach Meredith on the front row. Hunter Peach and Brad Herman in row 2. Row 3 sees Josh Arnold and Cole Snyder. You've got Shad Swatsworth in his spooky monster Chevrolet to the inside of Nate Lehman in the Dr. Destruction Ford. Brad Rivers to the inside of Nate Lehman, Jose Ruiz on the outside of Enrique Quinones. That's 10th and 11th, respectively. Pete, Stan Carnathan and Jake Millsap side by side for 13th and 14th. Millsap trying to get back on the horse after being involved in 2 cautions.
Yeah, if he didn't use his fast repair before, hopefully he did right then and there. Get back up, get going. There's a lot of cars out there that've got a little bit of damage. Not quite sure who's up to spec and who's still got all the horses under him. We'll find out, man. Like you said, about 30 laps to go. I'm ready to see this all the way through. 23 laps to go when we cross the line. Jordan Bain leading this race. Zach Meredith beside him. Green flag is out, and it's another restart at Texas. Another great restart by the 28 of Bain. Hunter Peach, he's going to be able to slide underneath the 17. Here comes the 85 of Brad Herman as well. 17 stuck on that high side. Again, that's been his bread and butter. Get on up, sniff of a draft just behind Hunter Peach, but Peach pulls back down in front of the 85. They're going to be 3 deep on the bottom. Just the 17 is the lone guy on the outside.
Off that fourth corner, 28, 26, 27, top three, Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet, side by side for that second position. Stan Carnathan to the inside as the 151 of Ben Lee strikes the wall out of turn number 4, and that smack is going to send that Xbox car languishing towards the back. Grandpa Coey to the inside, just involved in that last accident in the number 66 Fighting Irish Camaro. Back up to the top 7 drivers. We're talking about Shad Swatsworth to the inside of J. Paul Arnold for 6th.
Yeah, well, getting back up with old Shad right now, and man, he's got. It looks like he's got the speed. He's been able to keep the front end of that number 1 monster car pretty clean. I don't see anything at all wrong with that whatsoever. He's got the 24 right in front of him, and man, he's Swat said he was great on the long run, so we'll have to see if this is the long run that he needed to be able to pick off at least 2 or 3 spots.
Jake Millsap sitting in the 11th position, Pete. That Napa know-how di9Designs Coal Dog Chevy trying to crack that top 10. Brad Herman up into the lead now, snaking down the backstretch. Here comes Hunter Peach, diving the Ream Supra to the inside of Brad Herman for the first position. What a gutsy move with 20 to go. 1-9 at the line, 8-5, 2-6, 1-7, your top 3.
Yeah, 85 left that bottom line open. Hunter Peach dove in, tried to go ahead and take it, but the 85 was able to fight back on the outside. Now that 17, he's going to go ahead and try to move on back in, keep right in the draft of our top 3. Boehner's starting to scoot away just a little bit.
85 of Brad Herman leading Hunter Peach. Zach Meredith sits in the 3rd position. Jordan Bain running in 4th, and Cole Snyder sitting in position number 5. Going to be a good points day for these drivers if they can hold on for another 18 and a half laps. Back to 10th, Bobby Pierce in the number 88 Xbox car. He's got a mirror full of Matt Boone. And Pete, the number 38 Twisted T Chevy, came into this race 2nd in points. He needs to get the let out. He's only got another 17 laps.
He's got to get up and get going, get gone. Man, for some reason, my tool was showing that the 85 was still in P2 even after he'd gone by the start stripe. So definitely apologize, but yeah, 28 of Bain now back in P4. When you interviewed him during that caution, he said he really wanted to try to stay in that clean air. Clean air means a lot with how, I mean, Texas Motor Speedway is very, very wide, but there's one true racing groove if you want to be fast and you want to be able to stay on that throttle as long as possible.
Jordan Bain in that 28. We saw this pattern once before, Pete, when car 28 was saving his tires at the beginning of stage 1, riding around, saving his stuff for the end. Coming to 15 laps to go, Bain would have plenty of reason to keep his resources well maintained, but Cole Snyder now all up the back end of car 28. This is no time to save, Pete. He's more than a second behind. Brad Herman starting to run away with this lead.
You see him just now kind of get a little bit of a shot towards the back end of the 17. You know, he's still far away, no contact there, but he got into the corner just a little bit deeper. But as soon as he hit the dirty air from that 17, he had to check up. So here he is now. Now he's got a little bit closer. As close as he is, I can't talk. As close as he is right now, that dirty air might actually help tighten that 28 up, so he might be able to get back in the throttle and make some moves, but that's going to pull the 24 right with him. But I don't know if the 17 is holding him up or not. The front top 2 kind of skating away a little.
Brad Herman and Hunter Peach battling with 14 laps remaining. Zach Meredith now moves into 3rd on the outside of Jordan Bain, who's got Cole Snyder supporting in the 24. Shad Swatsworth, Nate Lehman watching behind them in 6th, all the way to the back. There goes Quinones in the 9 and Jose Ruiz in the 23 to the inside of Jake Millsap. This for the 12th spot. Jeff Lednam and Enrique Quinones fighting for 10th with lucky number 13 laps to go.
13 laps to go. We've known other people where that car number and that lap number have meant big things. Talking about the one and only Lucky Dog, old Dan. But I've only seen that play favorable to him. Enrique, he's still looking pretty good. I don't see any issues. Got the 37 of Lednam right behind. Then there's that old Gossamer car, that number 23, sitting back just a little bit as well.
Jose Ruiz rocking the Looney Tunes Gossamer outfit right behind Jeff Lednam in 11. Really getting close up to the 37, who got loose and lost control of his race car on a restart on cold tires, Pete. But they're starting to get worn. Drivers are going to be at the end of their cycle. They have got to maintain those resources. Hunter Peach sandwiched between Brad Herman and Jordan Bain, but Bain starting to pick up the pace, Pete. Maybe he was saving for a couple of laps, but again, it's the same stage one, or not stage one, but the same pattern in the first part of the race. It's going to be a great finish here, Pete. 12 laps now become 11, and it's 10 to go next time around.
Being able to leave the 17 behind, caught back up to Peach and the 85 of old Mr. Herman. So top three on that bottom line, nose to tail. We saw what the draft did for Bain with the 17, helped maybe tighten his car up just a little bit, so he's able to get on that loud pedal just a little bit faster. We'll have to see if he's able to make the same move, try to get around Hunter Peach.
1-0 to go, and it's 9 at the line. Let's ride around now with Jordan Bain in the 28. Watch as he tries to get second. Chad Swassworth sliding back big time through the field. The one car slow down the back straight. We stay green, Pete. Swansworth has had an incident. Let's go back and have a look.
Yeah, Shad said something through team comms that I was kind of listening to. He said I was still there, so it had to be some kind of contact either from the low side or the high side.
The 22 of Josh Arnold making contact with the 1. One more look. We don't want to miss this battle for the win, but the 1 car of Swansworth making contact with the 24 as well. We've got to go back just once more. Take a look at this into 1. The 24 of Coldog possibly just trying to block. Maybe he thought he was clear when he wasn't. The 1 slow, the 22 of Josh Arnold maybe didn't check up well enough, and he turns the 1, puts him into the wall, and now the order is all sorts of messed up, Pete. But coming to 7 to go at the front, the top 3 only separated by half a second.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, it kind of looks like the 1 had his nose underneath Enrique, and just, I don't know if he hit a bump or what, just kind of seemed like he moved up track just a little bit, and then J-Pod just completely threw that number 22 into the back of the 1, and that was kind of all she wrote.
More trouble at the back. Brad Rivers in the 69 dropping instantly. That's going to put Enrique Quiñones, Jose Ruiz in the top 10. Bobby Pierce now in the 12th position, trying to catch up to Brad Rivers in car 69. The 88 slides just a bit too wide. Jeff Lednam in the 37 trying to hold up Jose Ruiz. This is the fight for 8th. Lednam has moved up 12 spots thus far, but you can see the car is starting to slide up the racetrack. Cole Snyder now losing the spot to Nate Lehman, and Hunter Peach closing the gap. Caution number 6 is out. Mike Kinsley has gone around.
Very, very unfortunate for that 12. We'll have to see how this plays out. But man, 6 laps to go. Probably 5 going to be. So we might actually see our first green-white checker. Not quite sure how many attempts they get tonight, but we've seen the 28 get a great launch. We'll have to see now if Brad Herman or Hunter Peach can do the same thing.
The 151 getting hooked on the back end of the 12. And let's have another look, because these two drivers fighting hard for position. Let's ride around in the cockpit of car 151. Ben Lee, have a listen.
Ouch.
And now from the 12 of Mike Kinsley. One more look from the eye in the sky. Oh, and we are already too far ahead. Let's have one more look from that great chopper view. We'll see where the lines were.
Bam.
Pete, the 12's already dedicated to the inside line. The 151 looks like he's trying to side draft off the 12, and he just gambles wrong. The 12 gets caught up by about 3 or 4 other cars, and it causes quite a big wreck. Brad Herman still leading this race in the 85.
Wow, very, very unfortunate for that 12. You know, that an amazing looking paint scheme, and I'm sure that's not the night that Kinsley wanted to see, or that's not the way that Kinsley wanted to see the night come to an end.
Bold Zoo saying 12 got dumped. Alpha York saying that does not look good. Let's take some time to think about it. We're going to take our last break of the night. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back in 120 seconds with the first green-white checkered attempt to settle round 4 from Virtual Texas. Back in 2. Back at the Virtual Texas Motor Speedway, getting ready to restart this race. Lights are still on atop the pace truck, so we're going to get one more lap before we get sorted here. Pete, obviously the 28 is an easy pick, but Jordan Bain is starting on the outside in row number 2. Matt Boone in the number 38 car, just recently pitted here on lap 94. I'm sorry, he pitted on lap 94 as opposed to a lot of drivers that pitted on lap 116. Everybody except the top 3 pitted just now under this last caution. Matt Boone in the 38 pitted most recently with Bobby Pierce in the 88. The odd man out is Brad Herman in the 85 car, whose laps are going to be 40 laps old when we take the green. Jordan Bain and everybody else is sitting on brand new Goodyears.
Yeah, brand new Goodyears, and they're going to mean a ton. They're all kind of going back and forth a little bit in chat, wondering, you know, did you take 2? Did you take 4? What'd you do? What'd you do? And man, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's one solid line all the way around Texas Motor Speedway, and the 85 and the 28 and, you know, the Hunter Peach and all the guys that have been up front all night long have really done a great job at keeping that low line occupied. But we've seen the 17 get on by on the high side. Will Bain be able to take lessons from Zach Meredith and get on by? We'll have to see. But you can imagine that these top 2 are going to make the track or make their cars really wide coming to the restart zone, sir.
3 miles to go to settle the 4th round of racing. Brad Herman picks it up and they steam by with 2 to go.
2 to go. 85 gets a great launch. You got that twisted T number 38 on that high side. Bain right behind him. You can see the closing rate of
Wreck
Bain.
behind him. 17 of Meredith.
Loose.
Meredith has gone around out of turn number 2. Zach Meredith is into the wall. Caution comes out for the 7th time tonight, Pete. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but Meredith going around out the back here. Let's have a look. Oh, already.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got a ton of damage, at least on the front side. And I guess he kind of put it rear end into the wall. Yep, there it is.
Well, and let's have a look. He may have had some help, and it looks like he either got loose or he had some help. Let's ride along with the chomography and have a look here. There's the 17 of Meredith. He's already gotten loose, and the 38 car. No, the 37 it looks like. That looked like the 37 of Jeff Lednam just barely missed him. One more look from Lednam's point of view. Oof. Right there. Pete, I think that right there for Jeff Lednam is a Cole Trickle move of the race.
Absolutely. You're able to keep that down, but not go too far to the inside to take out, I believe that was the 6, maybe? Not 100% sure. But yeah, great job by old Jeff Lednam in that 37.
That right there for Jeff Lednam, avoiding that crash on the first restart, earns a Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Ice cream indeed, Cole Trickle. Ice cream. So Brad Herman
I love that clip.
leading. What'd you say?
I love that clip.
You know what? It just makes me so happy. Every time I get ice cream, that's all I think of. Just pissed off Cole Trickle in the car. Ice cream.
Looks like the 5 of Mike's going to go on and get a lap back. So good for him in that Kruger number 5.
You notice the 5 on the side of that car is styled exactly like Terry Labonte's?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yep.
I love the little throw. What I'm most excited for, and I don't know if it's a public announcement, but it is now. There's an ARCA League coming next spring that I'm excited about, where we're trying to do like 90s throwback schemes and stuff. It's going to be something to watch for sure.
Yeah, that will absolutely be a lot of fun. Look at first-time chatter out here, Unforgotten Shadow. Rick, when was the last time you came across that guy? Good to see old Mark out there.
Wow. Pete and Rick love and miss you guys. Haven't seen Unforgotten Shadow in forever. Man, that that takes me back. Welcome back, Unforgotten Shadow. Glad to have you here. MK Gaming displeased says that was garbage. Expert racing team blocked all race and doesn't deserve to be on track. Second race this season. Lee has ended my race. White Walker 86 says miss you, Mark. Emotions running high, Pete, and as you would expect. And some cars delayed here. We have another lap of caution while we wait for some cars to get back in line.
Yeah, I was actually able to catch up with Unforgotten Shadow down in Daytona for the last race. Him and some other friends. It was one hell of a time. Can't wait to possibly do it again for the 500.
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be unbelievable amounts of fun. Still waiting for this the lights to shut off here on the pace truck. Unforgotten Shadow says glad to be here. Where would we be without our fans though? They say glad to be here. You guys are great, but honestly, without the people supporting us, none of this is remotely possible. So if you are listening to this, thank you so very, very much, because it is you, the individuals that tune in for every race, that make this hobby, this love of ours, possible. Could not do it without you. Thank you so very, very much.
Absolutely. Fans in the stands, they make the world go around when you're a broadcast. I mean, if you're doing it for yourself and you don't mind whatever, it's still fun. But knowing that you're talking to a group out there in chat and they're listening to your every word, they're watching all the action on track, they're going right along with you. You're trying to convey the energy and the excitement that you see on track through your voice. Man, it's just so much fun. Man, I miss the NNR and the turn down for what and the American Ethanol and the eSpark and all those console days. But man, iRacing has been a lot of fun as well.
It's been night and day. Compared to where we were on console to now, iRacing has been just miles above anything else that we were used to. And community-wise, I think a lot of people, a lot of developers in the community, and a lot of very important people in the NASCAR console community are learning firsthand just how advanced iRacing is and how much it really does offer the community, and not only the drivers that we broadcast, Pete, but all these guys are our friends. We have personal relationships with these people, so we feel the frustrations of the NASCAR community, and we can also sense the relief and the breath of fresh air that is iRacing.
Hey Rick, look, the tires aren't bouncing like they're on basketballs. We've got a running order, and we've got a lap counter. We have all the tools we need.
I know, it feels like luxury, right? It's like, I feel like coming from Sega Genesis all the way to like Xbox 360. It's a revelation, and we get to enjoy that revelation for 2 more laps. Pete, green flag is out, and it's 3 miles to go in the Lone Star State.
Absolutely. Brad Herman gets a great launch. You got the 38 to the outside, 88's down on the bottom. There's the 64 as well. Bane's got a great, he's going to accidentally spin the 38, and you know what? That is class. Yeah, he got into the 38, but he checked up and hit the brakes to try to get the 38 from spinning all the way around. So even though that cost Bane a lot of positions, he tried not to wreck his buddy. We're still under caution, but man, that's class right there by Jordan Bane. You saw him get on the brakes, not to send the 38 all the way around.
Certainly frustrating for a lot of folks involved, not able to get even 2 corners underway while the drivers get regathered, and we try for another green-white checkered attempt, Pete. Looking at the statistics tonight, going through the info, we're going to have 3 attempts at a green-white checker, so I believe this will be attempt number 2. So Brad Herman and Robert Pierce now being scored in the 2nd position, oddly enough, but I think he's going to get one of those laps back potentially. I'm not sure, Pete, but certainly the running order getting shaken up.
Yeah, let's see if I can't help out just a little bit. Looks like everybody up to 21st is 1 or more laps down. I think Mike Kinsley is parked. Not quite sure about Josh Roberts, Randy Bouquet, I think I just said his name correct. Not 100% sure. Jarrett Manning. Those are the guys that are multiple laps down. So I think everybody that's actually still in competition is on the track and on the lead lap.
So another lap of pacing around, trying to get this race finished up. Brad Herman, Bobby Pierce, Brad Rivers, your top 3 as they run for the moment. Drivers last pitting on lap 116, and once again, Pete, Brad Herman on 83. He pitted last on lap 83, so his tires when we restart this race will now be 45 laps old. Do you think he can pull this off?
Tell you what, he's right now. I'd have to think he's wondering: is this a 2nd gear, maybe a 3rd gear restart? Track is slick. But then again, we are at nighttime temps. In fact, right now, I think the last time I mentioned anything about the track info, the track was at 82 degrees. It's now down to 77 degrees. So more grip. He should be good with a 2nd gear restart. But that's still a lot of laps on your tires.
It's an incredibly long time, so the tires are going to be cold. The grip is going to be minimal. Robert Pierce in the number 88 Xbox car, last pitting 10 laps approximately, 11 laps after Brad Herman, and same for, now everybody except the top 2 most recently pitting on lap 116. So we've got basically brand new tires on these race cars, Pete. We get another lap under the pace truck here, and these drivers get a chance to think about what moves they're going to make.
SWAT's out there saying keep an eye on that one. He's up to 10th, and I believe the 28 just got an EOL, so he's going to fall back one more. And as these guys line up, Rick, I think we're going to see, besides the 85, I think we're going to see a brand new top 5, isn't it?
Well, we're about to find out as they get sorted here. Brad Herman, Robert Pierce, Bradley Rivers, Cole Snyder, and Hunter Peach, your top 5 as they run. Hoping those lights shut off this time through, and we can put this one to a much anticipated finish. But be forewarned. There's going to be some sparks in the air. White Walker says Bane isn't that type of racer, but Boone got hosed. Pete says, Unforgotten Shadow says he's ready for the 500. It was an honor to meet you guys there, and he says February can't come quick enough. I bet you're feeling the same way, Pete.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to get back down to Daytona. It was a whole lot of fun. Got to walk out on the track, go to the infield. We actually ended up parking in the infield. We parked on the road course for the 500. Got to drive through the tunnel in turn 4. Man, it was, the whole experience was absolutely amazing. Got to meet Mark, a whole lot of the NNR guys. Got to meet Expert Racing. I mean, it was just a great overall time. Got to meet last year's 500 winner and get his autograph. Yeah, it was just a ton of fun. And my wife actually says that she wants to go to the 500 too. She doesn't think she'd be able to deal with the August heat down there. February should be better.
Always a special time. It's the 500. It's Daytona. It's just legendary for so many unbelievable reasons. We'll see what magic it brings in 2022. There's always a special story that comes with it. I think this year, Jimmy Johnson was one of those special stories competing in the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And one other little amazing tidbit: Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., and Clint Boyer were all at Bowman Gray earlier testing the next-gen car for the LA Coliseum race. I guess they kind of figured that was the closest race track to what the Coliseum is going to be like. I'd be interested to see what those guys have, but right now I'm interested to see what these guys have. Rick, we're getting ready to go back green last time.
Our second attempt at a green-white checker. The flag flies, and it's 3 more miles at Texas. Brad Herman ahead of Robert Pierce and Brad Rivers in the 3rd position, funneling down into turn number 1. Everybody trying to survive that shoot through that first corner, 2 and 3 wide through the banking, Pete.
Robert Peach, he's got the 88 to his outside. Oh, Mr. Rivers, we talked about maybe his one thing he needed to improve on was that long run. Well, right now he's not thinking about the long run. He's thinking about the throttle, thinking about the wheel. He's thinking about Robert Peach right behind him. He sees Brad Herman right in front of him. Right now he's sitting in a podium spot. P2, he wants this W. Will he move up and give that 85 a little bit of a nudge? I don't think so. A little bit of a gentleman's agreement right there. 69 sitting right there. 26. It could be a battle for P3.
Brad Herman leading into turn number 3 with Brad Rivers behind him. Hunter Peach sitting in 3rd. Will he move the 69 up the track? Cole Snyder out of turn number 4, but it's going to be the TJ's Team Ford of Brad Herman who holds on and wins round 4 at Texas. Brad Rivers in 2nd, Hunter Peach in 3rd, and Brad Herman pulls off the upset just when car 28 Jordan Bain was in winning position. The 85 of Brad Herman gets that win, Pete, his first of the season.
Man, what a great finish. And I tell you what, great clean racing. The 26, he could have come on up and given that 69 a shot. 69 could have gone up and given the 85 a shot. They didn't. No bump and runs. They didn't ruin anybody's race. A little bit of a tap here from the 69 to the 85. Said, hey man, I could have had you. Just remember that.
Brad Herman going to burn the house down in celebration in the TJ's Team Ford. Fans at home, we're going to get top 3 interviews in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to the podium. Brad Herman's going to burn the house down in the 85 car, and a well-earned celebration for driver 85. He's got the win tonight at Texas. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with driver 26 in that Ream Camry, Hunter Peach. You come home in 3rd, a great start, kind of a rocky end to that race, but how'd you bring home that bronze medal?
Yeah, I was really hoping for a green flag run there on the green-white checker, and I feel really bad for Bane, and it was a good race for tournament all day, and I just feel bad for Bane and Bills. I know they were up there with us all day. It was us 4. And I don't know what the caution was for. Really did not want that, but all around solid day. Just wish I could have had a chance in the end. Just more green flag runs.
A 3rd place, still fantastic, still going to elevate you in the points. Congratulations on that bronze medal. Pete, you've got our 2nd place finisher.
Absolutely, Brad Rivers. I got a chance to spot for you last week. Great job then. It was a P2 there. Another P2 here in Turn Down for What on Tuesday night. Tell us about that Raise Energy ride you got going on. And I also saw you kind of check up a little bit, so you didn't get into the back of Brad. What more did you need?
Yeah, thanks, Pete. I was gonna try to take him on turn 2, 1 and 2 on the high side, and I was just a little worried that I might get loose and just wreck the whole field. So I just figured I'd just back it off a little bit, just try to just finish P2. I knew I had a faster car than Herman, but I just took the safe route and went with P2. So yeah, thanks to Mike Kinsley for making this paint scheme, and it's one fast ride this week, and I'm happy with P2.
Man, congratulations. I'll see you again one more time tomorrow night. You're the man, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Rick James, I think you got some other guy named Brad.
Our winning interview brought to you by di9Designs, the Chase Elliott graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at di9Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week on top of taking requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Be sure to use code di9Designs for free shipping on all diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. And now the winner. Driver of the number 85 TJ's Team Ford Mustang, Brad Herman, you survived that calamity at the end. You've got your first win in round 4.
Yeah, I really don't know how I came through with that. Just kind of got lucky there in the restart zones, getting a good launch, and feel like I had the fastest car overall. And I don't know, on long run speed, we'd have had to see what we had. Every time we were about to get to that point, the caution came out, so we couldn't really tell. But just got lucky with the strategy I planned.
Coming into this race after that finish, you've now elevated yourself 18th in points, and it's going to be a great run next week at Atlanta. Can you make it 2 wins in a row?
gonna try. I'm not really too worried about points. I just like coming in here and running with these guys. We'll see what happens. Just gotta thank my sponsors, TJ's team, and Travis Anderson, and all that he does for the team. I gotta thank Michael Kinsley for his badass paint schemes. Oops, sorry. And just gotta thank you in the broadcast booth.
It's been a pleasure for myself and Pete. Go on and celebrate, man. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Pete, that's going to do it for us as XRN Network. Alpha York 23, White Walker, also love in the chat. What a night it's been for Turn Down for What and for this di9Designs Xfinity League.
Yeah, man, it's been a great race. Few more cautions than I thought we were going to have, but overall, interesting finish. Man, you saw a lot of give and take. A little bit more take caused a couple of yellows, but overall, Rick, not bad. I appreciate you allowing me up in the booth one more time. Till next one.
Pete, this booth is always yours. You don't even have to ask. Fans at home, none of this is possible without you. Thank you all so very, very much. Rick James TV will be taking a break for the next 6 days, but we'll be back Monday night with ARC's Mazda Monday at Bristol Motor Speedway. You want to see those MX-5s at Bristol. Get on to Twitter at Rick James TV and catch the trailer. Until then, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will